What is he recycling here?
Which doesn't that kind of go back to the where did the water come from question?
Yeah, that's exactly where it goes back to. That's what I was referring to with the, what is it that God's recycling here? Where'd that water come from? Well, how about this? Question. Okay, this is not a stated fact. This is a question that I still wonder about. Do we have any indication that this is the first time that God ever created a world?
No.
Stop and think about that. Matter of fact, do we have any indication at all that this is not the first world that God ever created? Angels. Where did the angels come from? Are they immortal? No, they are created. Therefore, who created them? Well, only one answer to that question, I think. God. Okay? Now, angels, what is their role in the Bible?
Praise God.
Messenger.
Praise God. Messengers. They come down.
They serve God.
They serve God. And they serve Him in this world. Okay? They come forward. By the way, you'll notice that when Satan, who is an angel, when Satan appears to Eve, is she scared? No. What is she used to seeing in the garden?
Apparently
Angels. So angels are coming and they're part of this world and they come down and they appear. And you remember that little passage over in Peter where it says that, the mystery of the gospel, even angels would love to look into this thing? Do angels have any interest in our world whatsoever? Well, of course they do. Okay? That's the reason why they keep coming down and they keep working for God. Now, let me make a suggestion, and this is totally opinion. I'll turn this down. No. Okay, this is totally opinion. What if God is a God who creates, what is He going to continue to do?
Create.
He's going to continue to create. What if, after this world is over, what would you expect God to do?
Start up.
Possibly.
Recycle.
Recycle again?
World 3.0.
How do you know 3.0?
Well, we figure if World 1.0 was whatever world the angels.
Did I say anything about the angels being 1.0?
Well, no. You did sort of imply that, though.
Yeah, don't imply it. Okay. How many times has God done this trying to let us get it right?
There's no.
Well, because it could be 9.0 is what you're saying.
Or 50 billion point oh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Get that on the disc. I don't know. Okay?
But anything like that is possible because God always has been, God is, God always will be.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things I ever heard a lady say on TV, you were asking her about what if there's another world out there with people on it, what would they be like? Well, she said they would be just like us because God would have created them too. Okay? I mean, all the mysteries are not for us to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it really doesn't matter as long as we do in here.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be world 3.0.211. Doesn't matter.
Every now and then you get an upgrade.
We're this one. We're this one. And we have this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's fun to think about all
Yeah.
of those things like that. But
Well,
what
it also-
thing to think about is getting to heaven.
Yeah. And now there's my point. Okay? Did you ever wonder what we're going to be doing in heaven?
Worshiping God, singing praises, and maybe some other stuff that we don't know about yet.
What if what the angels are doing in this world, we get to do in the next world?
Wonderful. I never thought of
Okay? Because what does God do with beings that were created before? He puts them to work in this one. What if, instead of, we usually think about heaven, unless you've been in the Revelation class, we usually think about heaven as, what do you do in heaven? You float around. Okay, you got, the little lyre because in heaven instrumental music's okay. But, okay, but, and we usually think about this sort of, it's the ultimate retirement plan. What if we get to, see, what do we do in this world? We try to prove to God, I want to serve you. Is that going to stop when we get to heaven? No. How about if we get to keep serving God? And see if maybe we can get the next creation where they don't make the same mistakes that we did. Yes.
In verse 9 it says, and let the dry land appear. So it sounds like he created dry land at that point.
Yeah, that's one way. Or the other way is, remember, what does it say in the first part, though?
Or he raised it up high enough for it to
Right.
dry
Yeah, it
out.
says, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and when you pull the water together,
You're gonna have land.
the land appears. Okay, it's possible either way. Okay, from the text, it's possible either way. But I do think that there are some interesting possibilities here. Now, I'm not going to make any of this, fact. I'm not going to make any of this gospel. As Paul said, it's fun, it's conjecture, it's all of this sort of stuff. But at the same time, it does give some interesting ideas to the fact that when you get over into the book of Revelation, what are the people who are already in heaven? What are they doing there? They're fighting the forces of evil in this world. And if that's what we do when we get there, how about we get to keep fighting the forces of evil wherever they come? Okay? Because there was obviously a creation before this. The Bible just opens by saying, here's all of this water that God's going to take and use again. There's dry land either created or it appears. And it just seems to me that there might be a hint there that there's a lot more going on here than what we sometimes think about.
Oh, but if you go right back to the very first sentence, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Mhm.
Okay, he created it. Now he's starting off in verse 2, ordering it.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's the other
So,
possibility.
There's nothing to say right there in heavens and the earth. That's where the water was created, along with the void and the dark and the light.
Seems to me
Everything's
that
created
earth is a
right
general
there
term
in those
describing
first,
where we are.
10 words or so.
Mhm.
I can't accept the previous world creation now. I can accept previous being creation in heaven. But this says the heavens and the earth, and earth seems like a general term for where we are.
Mhm.
Earth is where we are now,
Yeah.
with water and land and atmosphere.
But we think of earth as with trees and animals, and those weren't created when it says earth.
Yeah, and that's a small e, and down here in verse 10 it's a large e. I don't know
I-
if that makes any difference, but like, there's a difference.
There's no way for us to know this. But I think that verse right there tells me there was nothing and then there was. That's just what it says to me.
Well, I think everything.
There was nothing and then there was. I don't buy that the waters were already there. I believe he created the waters then.
And that's fine. That's
I
fine.
think it-
But I'm just saying, there's another way to read that. Okay, there's another possibility. I'm not sure I accept it.
I think it means in the beginning of this earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to ask in the beginning of what? So, like I said, I'm not even sure I believe this. Okay? I'm not sure I can accept what I just talked about. Certain number of people created and there
As far
won't
as
be
we
any
know,
more.
there's only 2.
2 people?
Yeah,
Or 2
Adam and
angels?
Eve.
Yeah. And then after that, it takes over. Okay. Now, don't tell anybody about class today.
Especially one of the elders, right?
Especially no, just remember, as I've been trying to emphasize all along, this is conjecture. This is what I think classes ought to be. As everybody starts thinking about it, everybody starts pitching out opinions, and that's exactly what I wanted to do today. If I had any sense at all, I'd have never done it. But I don't.